Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, Sanitation Services Pine Ridge Landfill boasting of an environmentally sensitive operation. Occupying thousands of acres, the landfill serves as a vital purpose as a contained site. Now, this evening, a top official talks about the expansive facility and what they do to ensure that it is not a public nuisance.
An average of 80,000 to 90,000 tons of garbage, including tires and liquid waste, makes its way to the Sanitation Services Pine Ridge Landfill annually. Managing large amounts of decaying garbage can pose challenges, but General Manager Luke Harrell says they take pride in the fact that the facility that is home to many birds, sheep, and goats is not an average dump.
We control against odors and rodents, and the way we do that is by controlling the methane gas. As the garbage deteriorates, it generates methane gas, but we extract that gas from the landfill and we burn it right now. We will eventually find some beneficial use for that gas.
While the New Providence landfill is plagued with frequent fire problems, Carroll says locally they have an 80,000-pound compactor that compresses garbage to reduce that problem.
By doing that, you eliminate oxygen in the waste mass because through degradation the garbage generates heat, and I said before that it also generates methane, so you have the fuel and you have the heat source. If you put oxygen, mix oxygen with that, you're going to get fires.
He says they also do a lot of covering at the landfill that spans some 193 acres, 21 of which are occupied by cells containing garbage. There is a concern about future growth, Carroll says, sharing that officials recently conducted a footprint expansion.
What we would like to do is to be at this site without having the need to go anywhere else as long as possible. We're looking at possibly 70, 80 years if this footprint expansion goes as it should.
Noting that the landfill has one of the highest bird populations on the island, Carroll says it is a priority to keep the facility attractive with additions like a tilapia pond. He adds that the landfill gets many field trips, and it is nice to show students that a landfill can be one of the nicest areas on the island and can be an attractive place to work.
It's nice when the kids come to be able to show them that it's an area that would be attractive for them to work in, because there are opportunities in this field.
Most importantly, Carroll says they want the public to know that their garbage is going to a controlled environment that will not haunt them in the future. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
In other news, police have mobilized efforts to destabilize a boat theft ring in Abaco. According to reports, several men were arrested who are known repeat offenders and suspected of stealing over a dozen vessels on that island recently. Now, ZNS News spoke with the Assistant Commissioner of Police to address this disturbing trend. Boat theft continues to be a concern for the island of Abaco. A number of boats were stolen recently, and some Abaconians fear that this trend could be a threat to their tourism industry. Assistant Commissioner of Police Emerick Seymour says that they are focusing on efforts to deter this type of criminal behavior.
We have employed a task force, which is a combination of, and I don't want to go into detail, a combination of officers, Grand Baham, Abaco, and of course Bimini, where we are in fact doing some work in that regard. We are satisfied that in recent times, notwithstanding we've had some boat theft, we've also had recoveries as well. And yes, we've had some theft of boats, but then we've had those boats recovered as well. We've just arrested several persons just recently who we feel are part of a boat theft ring. And of course, we're continuing our investigation.
Some Abaconians have questioned whether or not there is sufficient manpower on the island to battle the relentless boat thieves.
Law enforcement is comprised of not only the police, you have the police defense force and of course the other agencies as well. And if and when it's necessary, we call upon all of those other resources and all of those other entities to in fact join hands with us. Because as I said earlier, remember the police department is only as strong as the community wants it to be. And of course, we can't do this alone. That's why we depend on our other law enforcement partners and members of the community. And I'm satisfied that what we're doing is in fact working, because I'm seeing the positive results.
According to media reports, residents allege that about 17 boats were stolen in a 6-week period. And while nearly all boats were recovered, the engines were missing. In other news, the 12th annual Apprenticeship Graduation and Introduction Ceremony for new apprentices taking place over the weekend. This year's theme, Bridging the Gap in Vocational Training through Purposeful Partnerships. And thanks to a new public-private partnership, this year's enrollment has doubled. Megan Shepard was there.
8 young men now officially welcomed into the workforce at the Grand Bahamas shipyard after 4 years of vigorous theoretical and practical training. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, delivering the keynote address and congratulating the group for their commitment to the program. He admonished them to take advantage of this opportunity and to master their skills as they continue to learn all that they can at the facility.
I assure you that your decision to be a part of this program is the right decision, because this is where the future of Grand Bahama lies, in the maritime and industrial sector. Graduates and apprentices, I congratulate each of you for determining within yourself to make a positive contribution to your community and to capitalize on the opportunities that are available to you through this program that will strengthen you academically. It'll improve your technical skills and give you the necessary soft skills in order for you not only to work in the Bahamas, but to be able to work other parts of the world.
The graduates focused on various areas and training specialties throughout the years. Now receiving the fruits of their labor, they traded in their trainee hats for official shipyard hard hats. The most outstanding graduate and recipient of the distinction award, Dickinson Sapetti, says it was a great feeling to finally achieve this milestone.
It's through God, good work ethic, hard work, determination that I was able to accomplish where I am right now. And I thank my manager and all my friends and family and my colleagues for all of the prestigious awards that I have attained today.
Following through with the words of encouragement by Minister Darville, Dickinson says he has some big goals he wants to achieve next.
Right now I'm hoping to enhance my knowledge and attain new higher heights and hopefully be one of the managers in the coming years.
Now 40 young men and women are preparing to continue on in the apprenticeship program. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
And still on the education beat, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology hosting a special event for all teachers on Grand Bahama. The annual event seeks to prepare teachers ahead of the new term. Italia Hall was there.
Hundreds of teachers turning out for the annual Teachers Enrichment Day at the Jack Haywood Gym on Tuesday morning. District Superintendent Mary Cooper says she hopes that this day inspires all teachers to do their best during this new school year.
The purpose of it is to bring everyone together to start the new year. The theme for the year is educating students to create lifelong learners. And this morning we have added, don't drop the goal.
This meeting coming after principals, vice principals, education officers, and district superintendents from all over the Bahamas came together for an administrative conclave in the nation's capital.
We had presentation from the McCrell school management systems, 4 persons from the United States presenting to our school administrators. They've been trained in this all year long, but to bring it all together, we had them there, and so we are concentrating on the McCrell management system for our schools. And then, of course, we had our charge from the Minister of Education and our Director of Education.
The keynote speaker of the event was the Dean of Students at the College of the Bahamas Northern Campus, Dr. Theo Cooper. He admonished educators to understand their role in the classroom, which he believes extends beyond teaching and learning.
Because of the myriad of challenges, social issues that we're having in the country, it is important that we move beyond subject matter. And also, not only that, to understand that in being a professional, there is a responsibility to remain relevant. There's a responsibility to remain current. And then furthermore, to be an advocate for students, to be an advocate for what is good, what is right, and what is best.
All teachers in the public school system returned to school on Monday, August 29th. School will reopen for students on Monday, September 5th. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news right after this.